Hey, welcome everybody. This is part 2 to the power factor explained video. So let's get right down to it. So here is the power triangle again. You have your parent power, reactive power, and real power. And again, this power factor is the ratio of the real power to the parent power. And if there is no reactive power, then your power factor is 1. So if the phase angle for the voltage and the phase angle for the current are equal, and so neither one is leading or lagging, they're sitting on top of each other, then that means all you're drawing is real power. And if all you're drawing is real power, then you have no reactive power. So your apparent power is equal to your real power. Real power is equal to apparent power when you have a power factor unity of 1. So the power factor is 1. And we can even run through that through some of our formulas here, because what is our kW? Our kW is VI times voltage times current times the cosine of theta, and our reactive power. Our reactive power is equal to VI times voltage times current times sine of theta, and our apparent power is just equal to V times I. Well, if our power factor is 1, what does that mean? That means that this equation right here is going to go to 0. Because what sine of 1? 0. So this equation is going to go to 0. And what's cosine of 1? Cosine of 1 is 1. So then kW, all that kW becomes is V times I, which is equal to the apparent power is V times I. So now you have the power factor. If you throw it in here, you realize your power factor is 1. So that's for a unity power factor. Now, if you have a power factor, all systems you're going to see the power factor is less than 1 if you have it at a big industrial site, usually sitting around 0.9 somewhere. So in this video, we're going to go over how you can kind of fix some of that and what might cause it. So many of times we've gotten calls from customers telling us that their power factor is 0.2 or something crazy like that. They're really, I mean, if you have a 0.2 power factor, you have something seriously wrong with your power system, and more likely than not, the utility is probably going to give you a call and be like, what's going on? So the number one reason we found for this kind of stuff is the CT wiring is incorrect. If you have your CT wiring, the polarity wrong, that means that your CT, your current is going to be read 180 degrees out of phase. So, throw that into some of the formulas and you're going to find that it completely shifts everything off. So that's why you're going to have a power factor of 0.2. Another thing as well is the VT or the PT. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. You want to make sure you check the connections on your PT or your VT. Make sure that they're correct, the polarity on those as well. And last but not least, on the meter, you need to make sure that all the wires on the meter are landed where they're supposed to be landed. You're not one off on the phase CTs, so phase B isn't plugged into phase C and phase A isn't plugged into phase B. Also make sure that you selected the correct type of system and the correct type of voltage is selected. So if you're looking at a 480 volt system, make sure you have selected 480. If it's 4160, make sure that you selected 4160. If it's a delta system or a Y system, make sure you select that. If the PTs are connected in open delta, you need to make sure that you tell the meter that it's selected in open delta. Now, some meters only come with the option that all they do is measure open delta, or they can't measure open delta. So that's something you need to go over the sales guy with, or your engineers, and make sure that they're getting the right type of equipment for your system. So more often than not, it's going to be one of these three things. And if it isn't, if you have a power factor of 0.8 or 0.7 and it actually is your system, then you're going to want to look at power factor correction units. Cooper sells some pretty good ones, and that requires a design engineer, and you need to get the right specs, and obviously it might be a little bit costly to get that installed, but if your system needs it and you're getting dinged by the utility, then that's what you're going to have to go with. All right, if you guys have any questions or concerns, let us know. Thanks.